I think we can save this with the magic of video editing.
Yeah.
Hey everybody!
Hello everyone!
Hello!
Welcome back to the
Subspace
Science Fiction Society podcast.
Yeah. We've
Very
got a
exciting.
name.
I'm Daniel from Space Doc, that's Alistair from Space Doc, that's Callum from the University Science Fiction Society that we are going to.
Yeah.
We're all here today to talk about...
Well, yeah, we have an interesting concept for
a cool premise for this one.
Right, so, in short, Pacific Rim 2 sucks a lot. It's awful.
Yeah, so we've all seen Pacific Rim Uprising, and although it may be a fairly enjoyable popcorn movie, it's certainly not an adequate sequel to the original. I think we can all agree.
It's not a movie. It fails to
But
movie.
anyway, you guys aren't here to listen to these two losers complain about movies. What we're going to do is something fun. We're going to submit our own proposals for a sequel to Pacific Rim instead of the second one.
Yeah.
And then Callum's going to judge on which one of ours is the best. That might be a thing that already exists on the internet.
It does. This is a direct reference to another podcast.
But I didn't know about it, so it doesn't...
Neither did I. Or it did, but I never bothered to check it out, which is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Right, so, quick recap. The first movie.
Oh yeah, I couldn't remember what happened to the first movie at all.
That's an important prerequisite for writing a sequel.
I don't think that's true, first of all.
Okay. Well, the writers of the original of this movie probably have it. Right. So, original movie got giant monsters that come out of the ocean.
Jaegers.
No, they're kaiju.
We're off to a flying start,
sorry.
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, so basically the kaiju are the no. If you've written in your pilot,
Jaegers come out the... No, wait.
Right.
The kaiju come out the ground.
the kaiju come out of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
They have giant robots to fight them, but it's going on for so long that they want an alternative. So they decided to build walls around cities, like the sea walls.
Didn't they just build a massive wall around the breach?
No, they're
No,
going to build
there's a
around
lot of-
individual cities.
You can
Wouldn't
pick,
that make a lot
yeah,
more sense?
It's quite easy to pick holes in the concept
Can I
of
change my
Pacific
sequel answer?
Rim. Like,
Is it
why don't
called
they just
Build
stand
the
all of their
Wall?
Jaegers in a circle around the breach and just kill everything that comes out?
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, you can't have a film like if you do it that way, so I'm quite happy for them to just say, whatever.
Anyway,
Okay, cool.
grizzly Australian man. American or Australian?
He's Australian playing an American, and he's doing a terrible fake American accent.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's
what it is.
bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't work about that movie.
Anyway, he was a pilot. Then he got shot down, or he got beat up, and then he was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it anymore." So he went and built a wall, and they're like, "We need you to come back. You're the only one who can do it."
Yeah.
He's the only one with the drift neural handshake MacGuffin.
Yeah.
The synchronization.
Yeah.
Despite there being an entire list of candidates who he has to try and work through to find someone who's compatible with, was it not just easier to find two compatible people in that lineup of people?
Anyway, whatever. So
They
goes
kill
on.
the giant alien monsters and they blow it up, and then there's a speech at some point, it's
great
basically
speech.
Independence Day.
It's a great
basically
speech.
Independence Day with robots.
And giant monsters.
We are cancelling the apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Great stuff.
It's just giant robots fighting giant monsters, and the second one had less giant monsters being fought by giant robots.
Yeah.
It was kind of less fun.
Yeah, I wasn't entirely behind the whole Jaegers versus Jaegers nonsense. It's a bit boring.
I wasn't behind the whole lack of character development
Yeah,
or
it was-
interesting elements.
the first-
or-
Anyway, that's not
Yeah.
the point. It's just robots fighting. So this is why we're going to submit our sequel ideas. Cue the music. Alright, cool. I'll go first then.
Because you've actually got a document, which I don't have.
Look at me. I prepared things. Okay. So I wrote a sequel idea.
Do you have a title?
I do have a title.
Ooh, okay.
Would you guys like to hear my title?
Okay, yeah. Right, so you do your title,
Mm-hmm.
you do your title, do like a brief pitch, and then go into more
I
detail.
don't need a brief pitch.
Okay, you've got a full pitch.
Yeah.
Okay. You can go first then.
Wait, so you don't want me to say anything?
No, we'll just go him first
Right,
then.
Okay, so my title is the sequel to Pacific Rim.
Do you want to lean down a bit because your head's out of camera?
Yeah. The behemoth does not fit in the frame.
It is The Very Hungry Kaiju.
Okay.
And I'll read it out to you.
I thought
In the light of the moon, a little breach lay in the sea. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop! Out of the breach came a tiny and very hungry kaiju. He started to look for some food. "I'm so hungry," he said. On Monday, he ate through one fishing boat, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 luxury cruise liners, but was still hungry.
It's in Comic Sans.
It is in Comic Sans. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 battleships, but was still hungry. On Thursday,
I can't believe I took this seriously.
I know,
I've
right?
written a serious one.
he He ate through 4 coastal cities, but was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 whole countries, but was still hungry. On Saturday, he started eating Jaegers. He ate 1 Gypsy Danger, 1 Matador Fury, 1 Shaolu Rogue, 1 Vulcan Spectre, 1 Chrome Brutus, 1 Crimson Typhoon.
Jaeger names, Google.
1 Hydrans Corinthian, 1 Nova Hyperion.
Hydra Corinthian.
Shut up. 1 Echo Saber, and 1 Striker Eureka. That night, he had a stomachache.
I can imagine.
The very hungry kaiju then ate Scrapper. He started to feel better.
So the
Now
jab
the
at the second
kaiju was
movie.
no longer small. He was a big, fat kaiju. He went to a big mountain
I'm
called
terribly
Mount
sorry.
Fuji and stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then his chemically reactive blood reacted with Mount Fuji, spewing toxic gas all across the earth. The very hungry kaiju became a big, beautiful bioweapon. The end.
Right. Okay.
I've got pictures as well.
Show it on the camera.
As your microphone just fell out.
Yeah, a little bit. There you go.
Pull it back a bit. Pull it back a bit.
There's Gypsy.
Okay. Right. Yeah. There we go.
Great.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you
microphone.
very much to our guest star, Alistair from the 4th grade. Oh
My mum
God.
says I'm talented.
So am I to understand that you haven't actually written a proper one?
So, okay.
What do you think?
Who's
Seriously.
your director?
M. Night Shyamalan.
Who wrote The Very Hungry Caterpillar? Who directed the motion picture? I want him.
Okay.
I don't know. Michael Bay?
I might have time to pitch my idea on the spot. This is great. Okay.
Go for it. This is the kind of thing that irritates me from like Red Letter Media or whatever, where they just lie about what the video is and they just do something else. And it's
Right.
like, I get that it's funny and everything, but
Dan, why don't you give your pitch to give me time to come up with a good pitch?
Okay, my pitch is conveniently stored in 3 Facebook Messenger posts.
But do you have a crayon drawing? That's the question.
I don't.
Shoot.
Pacific Rim, Red Planet.
Okay.
Okay. Forced to reconsider their tactics after their defeat in the first film, the precursors open a breach at the summit of Olympus Mons on Mars, building a staging ground from which to strike at Earth. Boring, beardy protagonist man from the first film has gone missing, conveniently, somehow, and now the interesting characters of Mako Mori and Hercules Hansen from the first film must lead a mission aboard a spacefaring Shatterdome to deploy Jaegers on Mars. Fights in low gravity, cool, non-aquatic kaiju, precursor structures. Mako is the protagonist because she's easily the most compelling character in the first one. And and I've put they should totally call the Jaeger deploying interplanetary ship the Pentecost after Idris Elba's character. So there you go.
That is actually great.
Jaegers on Mars, because why not?
That's pretty good.
It's the only big, desert style is the only big terrain thing that was missed out in the first film, because we had the Anchorage stuff at the beginning, and then we had all the city stuff and the underwater stuff. A desert setting would have a nice colour palette, and you'd be able to do like microgravity.
Can kaijus breathe in space?
Oh, you can't just do whatever the hell you want.
The aliens from space.
But we could have, instead of fish inspiration for the kaiju, you could have like scorpion inspiration and stuff like that.
It's a pretty good pitch. I like it.
Yeah.
Also, it actually uses things from the first film, which is the most the second film. Hercules Hansen, who becomes the marshal at the end of the first one. He's not in the second one with no explanation. Mako Mori, of course, if you've not seen the second one, I apologise, but she's ignominiously blown up in a helicopter crash for no reason.
She's not very hungry anymore. Anyway.
Right.
Right.
Callum, do you think of anything interesting?
Okay, I'm going the opposite way to your pitch, which is to... So, the Jaeger project is shut down because they think they've killed the aliens.
Fair enough.
I'm surprised that wasn't a plot point.
Yeah,
in
like
the actual
the first film, there's a
was
massive
happening in the
war
first
going
one.
on, and they're worried that the program's going to be shut down. The second film, the war's been over for 6 months, and the program's going strong.
Yeah. So in my movie, they've been shut down mostly. They're now just kind of a figurehead. No one really thinks that the aliens are going to come back.
Like a royal guard.
Yeah, they're like a royal guard. They stand there and look pretty. So we have Hansen from the first movie. He will be
Old Australian guy.
Old Australian guy. He'll be kind of going, I'm in charge still. Oh,
Hansen's the
my
guy from the
son's
first one.
dead.
He's the Australian guy's dad, the other Australian guy.
Yeah.
There's two Australian guys in the Australian Jaeger.
I forgot
Striker Eureka.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And the young one ends up going off with Idris Elba and getting nuked at the end of the film. But his dad survives.
Wait, does he die?
The younger Australian guy dies.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so that's the start of the movie. And then...
Not the Australian actor pretending to be pretending to be an American guy.
Yeah.
The actual Australian character dies.
Okay,
Oh,
are
now
you
I'm
ready? Are
confused.
you ready for this? I've got a really batshit insane idea.
Go
Okay,
for it.
so then the aliens open the rift again, and they decide to do exactly what happened to them in the last movie. They send nukes through, based on the technology that they got nuked by, and they completely decimate the Earth to the point where it's mostly aquatic, and the survivors are all living underwater.
Oh, right. I thought it was going to be like a 5-minute long movie where
No.
The breach.
But the opening is it's set
So
up.
they've screwed themselves over
Yeah.
by enlightening these aliens to nuclear weapons.
Yeah. So the aliens basically win, and now we have the humans living on underwater in this weird bubbles, like bubble buildings, and then they have to be defended by the Titans.
Jaegers.
Not Titans, but Jaegers. Why am I saying Titans? Titanfall, god damn it. But they're now having to defend by Jaegers. So you've got Hansen's one of the only characters who survives. Basically, it's a way to clean the slate. You can wipe out everyone without any consequence, really, because you can just say, you nuked the aliens, now they've nuked you. And
It would also explain why you can, if you wanted to get rid of Raleigh because he was boring
Yeah.
and they couldn't get the actor, they could be like, we don't need that guy because that's the guy that gave the nukes to the alien, now he's a pariah or
he'd
whatever.
just be dead.
So just to confirm, the objective of these aliens was to wipe out everything on the planet so they could
They want
move in?
to terraform the planet to support their...
Okay.
Yeah, so what they do is they nuke the planet, causes a bunch of chaos, then everyone's living underwater,
And they're still trying to finish everyone off.
and they're still trying to terraform the planet. So they get the Jaegers, which are now super aquatic and really cool based.
Cool. Yeah, that's
And
fun.
and then all the ground could be like volcanoes and it could be like bullshit nuclear weapons, the nuclear weapons that turned Bruce Banner into the Hulk. It's done that to the Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically done the same thing, but instead of putting it on Mars,
Would you get cool mermaid Jaegers with fish bottom
No,
halves
but I'd get
and swords?
You've got like
turbines.
impellers for feet and stuff.
Yeah. and they just go
You could have
tridents.
kaiju that were on the planet at the time and they've been mutated, and
Yep.
you have mutant kaiju or whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And you just get a full new cast. I'd probably get...
Fully,
Do you-
I think it's a missed opportunity to not have Mako as the protagonist in the sequel because she was just the most.
That was okay.
She had like an actual arc in the first film.
I know this is going to sound racist, but I watch a lot of Japanese TV, so it's not that I don't want her as a main character. It's just that her accent was really hard to sell. In the second movie, did you understand anything she actually said?
I
in that
wouldn't
movie?
even mind if they just subtitled her and she just spoke Japanese. To be honest,
Yeah, I don't know. I just find that I think that story's over.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, yeah.
What did she do in the first one? She was just the plucky one that she.
Well, they have the whole-
She's
She
the
had,
one
like,
who
a
had the
fight with-
PTSD over
Because she was
kaiju because her
attacked.
dad.
Didn't she fancy the Australian guy?
No.
She was always.
Well, they didn't actually act on that. It was like an implied romance plot that didn't need to be showed properly, which was actually
Yeah.
quite a mature approach for that film. But she had like a proper character arc. She was like a kid when her city was destroyed or whatever, and she was
Yeah.
rescued by Idris Elba.
And we see that
Yeah.
flashback 4 times.
I guess it's not really a movie for character arcs. And
No,
deep
but
plot
the
purposes
second
and-
one definitely isn't.
The second one just copies it.
The first one actually has character, and there's some kind of progression and narrative, whereas the second one is just...
I like
Yeah.
the protagonist a lot more in the second one.
The
Yeah,
end,
that's
the end of
fair
my
enough.
movie would definitely suggest they've taken our world. Now we're going to go and take theirs, and they jump into the.
Oh, they would certainly have more impetus for that
Yeah.
for that ending, because Pacific Rim Uprising ends with the implication that they're going to deliberately open a breach so they can invade the alien place.
Mine
only
gives a reason
Uprising,
for
the
it.
entire movie was the
The one that wasn't real.
the implied
Yeah.
sequel at the very end. Like, we're going to fight back. We're
It's
going to
like that's
rise
what they
up.
should have just done. If you're going to set it on Earth, the only way you do it is you give it weight, like mine, where you just nuke the planet and kill everyone.
Yeah.
It
Or
also
you
has that nice
take it
kind
to
of
Mars.
XCOM 2 style inversion where it puts the humans on the offensive and
Yeah,
it's like it spins the situation on
Yeah.
its head.
I haven't played XCOM 2.
it's great.
I really want to.
It's a good
Mate,
game.
it's like better than XCOM 1.
Really?
It's just a flat upgrade of all the systems of XCOM.
I really
on
liked
now.
that the canon ending for the first one was that like the aliens took over.
Yeah.
And you have to sort of work your way out of that. It's kind of like your ending for Pacific Rim.
Yeah. Well, what I like about XCOM 2 is like, even if you think you won, what it then says is what you find out later on that you've been kidnapped by the aliens, right? And
No spoilers. I saw all of that.
It's in the opening cutscene.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, they've been making you run simulations, and those simulations are all the other playthroughs you've played through of XCOM 1.
Oh, really?
That's how they bullshit past the fact that you have played the first game and beaten the aliens.
It. Oh.
Yeah.
So the aliens actually won, and you've just been playing as them because you got psychically uploaded to their
They've been
network.
figuring out
So you've been playing for the aliens, and you.
Yeah.
So
well,
when you've been-
it's like Ender's Game style. You've been controlling their forces for them.
Whoa.
yeah, it's pretty great.
That's cool.
So our movies are supremely better because they kind of sound like interesting ideas instead of just
I'd totally watch a Pacific Rim movie on Mars. That'd be great.
yeah.
Okay, so now we have to decide between us.
No, now you have to decide because you half-assed it and did a fake
I
thing.
did not half-ass it at all. You kidding me? I printed stuff up. It's in Comic Sans.
Ask us questions about our movies and see what we'll get more detail out, like who we're casting, who we're directing, and I come up with names on the spot.
Okay. I'd get Idris Elba to play.
The big Henry Kaiju.
My movie has one character.
Well, I'm getting Dina Zerlite as director.
Okay. Who's
He
she?
did.
What's she in?
He did. He did the new Power Rangers movie, and he's really good at character stuff.
All right.
So I'd like to see him expand his
Prior
action.
experience with big robots punching things.
Yep, really good with character. The best bits about that movie are all the character moments, and I feel like in an apocalypse, you need people to sit around going, "I don't want to live anymore."
Oh yeah, it would need to be the Empire Strikes Back of the Pacific Rim thing. It needs to be the dark middle chapter.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having them just lose at the start of the second film.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't just like the idea that they thought, oh, we nuked them once, that destroyed their whole planet, and then the aliens were like, oh, they nuked us. How did they do that? Oh, let's just throw a bunch of them through. And they just open a massive rift and just throw a bunch of nukes. Or
It's an interesting idea that these aliens have...
Oh, they could have nukes on the kaijus, so they get kaiju attacks in all over the world.
Suicide bombing
And then they
kaijus.
suicide bomb.
Kaiju with nukes like sellotape.
Big vests.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's what the second movie did. It
Yeah,
actually had the
pretty
the lasers that opened the because they turned
Oh.
people into kaiju. No, what happened?
No, they turned Jaegers into kaiju.
They turned Jaegers into kaiju, but the people controlling them all died.
They all got like mixed up with kaiju
Yeah.
bits, didn't they?
The second film was stupid.
It's really stupid.
That's a daft film.
Charlie Day's playing the villain. Who casts Charlie Day in anything but Always Sunny?
I can't be the only one that thinks that the main Jaeger in Pacific Rim is the most boring one. What's it called? Is that's
Gypsy Danger.
Yeah.
But Gypsy Avenger was the one in the second one.
Whatever.
And that was really boring.
Gypsy,
like
Gypsy
blue,
Danger. I
yeah.
like Gypsy Danger in the first film.
Iron Man
Well, the first
style
film, and this is something that would absolutely have to pass over to a decent sequel, the slow-moving mechanical nature of the Jaegers and the animation needs to be preserved, because the second one was a Transformers movie. Everything was moving too quickly, and everything was like super sleek, and it was all like Mark 94 Jaegers or whatever.
I'd have to slow mine down even more because mine's underwater.
Yeah.
You know what I would do to get Jaeger designs for my movie? I would get like...
Fan contest.
Yeah, exactly. I would get like 5-year-olds to submit like whatever, literally like whatever wacky...
Then we
Jaeger
get the
things they could
Absorbal
do.
off from Doctor Who.
And
It
then-
is a film for 5-year-olds to
and then
design
make,
things
and then
for.
make them look really cool. Because they just do loads of like crazy creative stuff. Whatever, they had one with 3 arms, why can't you do that? 5-year-olds could do something better than that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
We watched Fifth Element yesterday as well.
Oh, we've already done a podcast on that.
Have you?
Yeah, we recorded one.
I don't know if we're going to publish it or not.
Nah, it's
Right.
rubbish.
We'll do a quick discussion here.
Okay, I
We're
like
never
Fifth
showing the
Element.
Fifth
It's a
Element
fun
again.
movie.
He likes The Fifth Element. I watched it for the first time. I didn't like it.
It's got a corny romance plot with Bruce
Oh,
Willis.
the word,
That's
the,
not
wo-
corny.
the word romance should not be applied to what that was.
Anyway, it's got cool aliens and they saved the world and...
I've seen better designs from my really Japanese TV show.
Most of the prosthetics were okay, but there was that one character in the opera was like the worst alien prosthetic I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how that happened. It looked like a school play.
You guys just aren't green. You don't get it. You're not green.
No,
Oh,
we just
Jesus
don't
Christ.
like watching for like 2 minutes. It's just an opera scene that
I
goes
like the opera
nowhere.
scene. She looks cool and the song's catchy.
That's 2 minutes after her going, ah.
I don't know. I can't.
For like an hour.
I can't do, and this is a recurring problem with me. I can't do films that are only for the visuals and the.
It's only for the visuals, though. It's just fun.
Well, the Fifth Element.
And it's got good visuals.
It's just look how cool everything looks, look how weird everything is, and like that's fine and everything. But it's a film. There needs to be a story that's compelling and grabs me. And
like The Very Hungry Caterpillar, which is both visually stimulating and educational. So, and I think
until you've got your hands on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine's got days of the week, and you learn how to count, and you learn Jaeger names.
Yeah, that's good. That's what we're going to teach children Jaeger names, important stuff.
1 Jaeger, 2 Jaeger, 3 Jaeger.
Very good. They're just saying this to the 30-something Australian guy from the first movie.
That's what the advert would be. Oh, you know what? Can that be a fictional advert in one of our movies?
Like a tiny desk in front of them.
Right,
like an American preschool or something.
For like a advertising campaign, we can just have he's going around releasing books to teach kids about kaiju because.
Oh, I like that.
He hasn't got anything to do anymore.
It's got nothing to do with like monsters or whatever. It's just them trying to do normal jobs afterwards, and one of them becomes like a children's author.
Yeah.
I was flying giant robots that can see aliens, and now I'm just doing normal jobs.
Now I draw pictures for kids' books. It's nice.
So let us know in the comments whose idea you think is best and why it's mine. And
because he's not going to tell us which one's best.
Oh. Is this really my responsibility to actually pick one?
Because yours was awful.
you didn't write an actual sequel.
I did! Shut up! You thought of one on the spot!
He thought of one on the spot, and it was
Look! Have you seen this? Look at the little Jaeger, and it's got the red one with the sword, and that's clearly like Gypsy What's-His-Face, and that's the Russian one with the big spiky bit. I put effort into this! Look!
The Russian one with the big spiky bit.
Which one was the best, apart from yours?
Stupid podcast anyway.
Give us an answer, Alistair. Mars or underwater?
They destroy the planet and then have to go to Mars. They nuke the planet and go to Mars.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for the worst episode yet. You were right when you said that next time we record it'll be the worst one. This is as bad as this is the worst one.
Oh, this is better than the Annihilation one.
Stick around for more cop-out answers from me. Your favourite one, Alistair. Okay.
We should tell them where to find you on Twitter.
McCabe Alistair, McCabeAlasdair.
To anyone who watches Space Dock and is more accustomed to content of at least moderate quality, I apologise for everything that you've seen today.
And you'll find me, if you found this, I'm in the description.
Are you? Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah,
cool
we're all in the description. I put this in the description. We should have said, check the description below.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you
Remember
very
to
much
smash
watching.
that like button.
Yeah, hit that bell. Ring that bell. What else?
Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye. The pair of you, you're like, this is shit, and like, that's good, and as soon as it finishes, you're like, that was great, like, that was shit, what are you playing at? That was great.